In the current times, our day-to-day life gets consumed in fulfilling our physical and mental requirements and social responsibilities. In this fast-paced routine, the requirements of the soul are often forgotten. So I congratulate each one of you for taking some time from your busy schedule to join this session to fulfill the requirements of the soul. It is with Sadhguru Dev's blessings that we are here today in this satsang to dive into the wisdom of Swarved. So, with this extreme feeling of gratitude in our hearts, let us get started. Today's satsang session is a continuation of the recently introduced section called Swarved Wisdom, where we attempt to understand the meaning of Swarved Dohas that our speaker has selected for today. This will be an interactive session, so please ask questions and share your thoughts and understanding once the speaker has explained the Doha and its meaning. Our speaker for today is Sudhanshu Ji, who is a sincere disciple of Sadhguru, very knowledgeable, and we have had the opportunity to listen to him in the past satsangs. I would like to request Sudhanshu Ji to enlighten us with the wisdom from Swarved. Over to you, Sudhanshu Ji.
Thank you so much, Neetuji. My prayers on the lotus feet of Master, lotus feet of Sadhgurudev, entire Acharya Parivar, and welcome to everyone who joined today's session of Swarved Wisdom. From past few weeks, we all are going through different couplets of the book, which is Encyclopedia of Spirituality, the book which contains the knowledge of Swamiji's spiritual journey. So on that context, today we are going to understand and discuss one of the couplets, which is taken from 5th Mandal and chapter 5th of Swarved. I'll request anyone who is in this session, please come forward and read this couplet for all of us, and then we will go for the explanation of this couplet. Anyone, please come forward and take this seva to read the couplet for us.
Jai Sadgurudev, I will read the couplet.
Thank you.
सेव्य भाव सेवक रहे, उतरे भव निधि पार, अन्य भरम संसार में सूझे वार न पार. Back to you, Sudhanshu ji.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for reading this couplet of Swarved. So if we see this couplet and if we see the explanation of this couplet in Hindi, Swamiji has mentioned that सेवक स्वामी के चरणों में सेवा भाव रख करके उनकी भक्ति द्वारा संसार सागर से पार हो जाता है. सेवा के अतिरिक्त और संसार में भ्रम अंधकार है, जिससे अथाह संसार सागर का वार पार नहीं दिखाई पड़ता. So if I translate this couplet in English, Swamiji is mentioning in this couplet that a sevak who is serving the master, he crossed this Maya world by keeping the feeling of a sevak in his heart. So if he has the continuous feeling of a sevak of whom? Sevak of master, then he will cross this Maya world. Otherwise, there are so many darkness, there are so much darkness in this world. So if you are away from the feeling of service of master, if you are away from the feeling of service of master, you will not see any side in this world. So in a nutshell, if we understand this couplet, Swamiji is saying, if you are not in the seva bhav, if you are not in the feeling of service, then you will not be able to see either side in this world. So if you want to cross this world, you have to indulge yourself in the feeling of service. So what is the feeling of service? What is the quality which brings the feeling of service in us? There are so many qualities, but the most important qualities are complete surrender, devotion. So devotion and complete surrender are the very much important quality if you are thinking about the sevya bhav, the feeling of a sevak in your life. Even in the past few weeks, we have discussed about the qualities of a sevak. We have discussed about his devotion level. We have discussed about how surrender he is. I can explain this with couple of stories, and I believe that will help you to understand these qualities very well. So if we think about devotion, how much devoted you needs to be if you are talking about seva bhav. So Swamiji has mentioned that a disciple who is ananya sarana sishya, that is the first quality. You need to be ananya sarana. What is ananya sarana? Ananya sarana means for that devotee, there is no one else except the master, right? So how this is important and why this is important. So let's understand this with one of the story. There was a farmer, and that farmer was living his life with all his efforts. One day he was on his farmland, and one rishi, one sage came to his home. So his wife told to the sage, please wait for some time. My husband will come to home in few minutes. So when after 10-15 minutes, the farmer came to home, along with the farmer, his dog also came with him. But what sage found that farmer is not that much tired, but the dog is very much tired. So the sage is asking to the farmer, is your farmland is too much far from here? He said, no, it's just 5-10 minutes walk. Why you are asking this? So he said, no, you're not that tired, but I see your dog is with you and he's very much tired. So it must be because your farmland will be too far from here. He said, no, it's not because the farmland is too far. It's because of the nature of my dog. When I am coming to home from my farmland, I am directly coming to home. But in between, my dog is so much distracted. He go and fight with other dog, then he run away some other places if he sees something. Then again he come back. Then again he go and start barking on someone else, and then again came back. So during my entire travel from my farmland to my home, I came straight forward, but my dog is so much distracted that made him exhausted. So, what is the intent of this story? The intent is this journey is not very much difficult or tiresome if you are on single path. If you are on the Sevya Bhav, if you are on Ananya Sarana Bhav, but if you are jumping here and there, then it is very difficult for you. So the first quality of a sevak is, first quality is Ananya Sharana, means you are stick to the feet of master. You have complete trust on master. Now, when it comes to complete trust, complete faith, there are two type of uh, faith you can say, which is in our life. First, by vocal, you can say, like I say that I have complete faith on my master. But when it comes to surrender, when it comes to show your faith, we started thinking about, is it right or not? Will it harm me or not? Right? So, complete surrender is a big quality, which is the second quality of a sevak. So, like in couplet, in this couplet, we are talking about Sevya Bhav Sevak Rahe. So, how this Sevya Bhav will come into a sevak? There are few qualities which will bring it in your life, which will bring the Sevya Bhav in you. So, one is Ananya Sharana, and second is complete surrender. So, what is the meaning of complete surrender? Complete surrender is a state where there is no doubt, where there is no waves of your mind, where there is no waves of your intellectual thought when you are in the service of Master. Let's try to understand this with one another story, which will help us to understand what is complete surrender means. So there was a master, and that master was uh, Sarva Samarth. What it means is like he was very much capable, and you can say it like he was very much spiritually elevated. He had one disciple, and that disciple was fully surrendered to him. You can say like he was a sevak to his master. So what happened that one day that master and his disciple, his sevak, was going together from one village to another village. So when they were going, master saw a very poisonous snake on the road. Master asked his disciple, "Go and catch that snake and bring it to me." The disciple jumped on that snake. he holded that snake and brought it in front of the master. The snake felt very angry that why he, holded me and bring it to his master. But he has a feeling that the master is very much spiritually elevated. So he was quiet. So when the disciple brought the snake in front of master, master saw it for a couple of seconds and then asked the disciple, okay, leave it. Then disciple leave the snake. Then master asked the disciple, I asked you to catch the snake. The snake was very poisonous. You didn't feel the fear. You just heard my ask and you jumped on the snake. Why you didn't feel the fear? The disciple replied, Master, it was your adesh, right? It was your ask. So the fear should be with you, not with me. So see the level of devotion that disciple had. What he said, the fear should be in you because you gave the adesh. It's not my work to be fearful. My work is to fulfill your adesh. So I just jumped and executed the task. I will get suffered or not, it's your problem, not my problem. So what happened in the night? That snake again came back in front of the disciple. And snake said, why you had caught me in the morning? And he bited him on the hand. The disciple remembered his master. And then he didn't feel much pain on his hand. And next day, when he went in front of his master, he said, Master, on the night that snake has came, he bite me, but I didn't feel the pain. So master showed him his hand. What disciple is seeing? The hand becomes blue due to the impact of the poison. And what master is saying, that was my adesh. That was my command. So I have to be worried, not you. So what this story teaches us, that that particular disciple was so much devoted, he was so much surrendered that he himself was not between him and master. There was no thought that by following that particular adesh, will it be harmful for me or not? So there was no thought, there was no internal discussion, there were no internal, exchange of thought that if I am fulfilling this particular adesh, what is the good or bad impact on me? So if there is so much surrender that you yourself is not there, then this Sevya Bhav will be fulfilled. So this is one of the story, but there are lots of story in our uh, spiritual world. There are so many Sevajit Sevak who has brought this Sevya Bhav in their life. So why Swamiji is mentioning here that Sevya Bhav Sevak Rahe Utare Bhav Nidhi Par? Because when you are in the feeling of service, when you are in complete surrender, when you are in Ananya Bhav, you will not see anything except the master and his command. And when you will not see anything except master and his command, then it's the master who will help you to cross this Maya world. It's not you. And what will happen if you are not in the Sevya Bhav? The second line of this couplet. When you are not in this Sevya Bhav, you are watching here and there. Because You are not on this complete surrender, right? Then what is there? If you are not in complete surrender, then waves of mind is there. Waves of your intellectual thoughts are there. And you are in this darkness of this world because you are thinking through your intellectual level, your mental level, and you are not seeing the side of this world. So to cross this world, you have to completely indulge in the Sevibhav. And when you are in the Sevibhav, it's up to the master, it's not on you, right? Swamiji has mentioned in Swarved, Bhakt bhar Prabhu par rahe, Bhakt samarpit soye, योग क्षेम प्रभु सब करें भक्त सम भक्त भक्ति रत होए. What it means that if a bhakt, if a disciple, if a sevak is completely surrendered, then his all work is in the shoulder of master. Bhakta bhar prabhu par rahe, bhakta samarpita soy. So the bhakt, the disciple who is surrendered, who has fulfilled with the sevya bhav, then it's the master who is taking care of all things of his life. Bhakt is totally indulged in the seva. He's totally indulged, involved in the service of master, and it's the master who's taking care of rest of the stuff. So the quality is what we are talking about. The sevya bhav is the ananya sharana, the first thing. There is no one else except the master. There is nothing else which you are seeing except the master. And what is the second thing? Complete surrender. So there is no one in between you and master. That's the meaning of complete surrender. Not even your thoughts, not even you. You must heard about Lord Krishna and Arjun. They were friends, but when Arjun surrendered completely in the feet of Krishna, then he became the master, and then he gave him the spiritual knowledge of Gita. So even there, what you will see the complete surrender quality of Arjun. I'm not sure if you were aware about one of the stories where uh, from the opponent party, uh, Bhishma Pitama, he take a bow that I will kill Arjun tomorrow. So Lord Krishna was a bit worried. So he's going to the room of Arjun, and what he's seeing that he is sleeping peacefully without any fear or without any other thought. He is sleeping very peacefully. So Krishna is waking up Arjun. Hey, you are sleeping very peacefully. Don't you know that Bhishma has taken a vow to kill you tomorrow? So what is the reply of Arjun? If you are awaked for me, then why I have to be awaked? So that's the level of trust, that's the level of surrender of a devotee on his master, that he is not worried of anything in this world. So this is the second quality, the surrender needed in a bhakta. What is the third and most important thing in the Sevya Bhav? The third and most important thing is no place of ego, egoless feeling. If you are a sevak, if you are in the sevya bhav, so what seva does? Seva removes ego from you. sometime it happens with us that Master gave us some seva, we are performing it, and we start feeling that if I would not be here, then how this would have happened? I did this seva. What is this? It's not like we are wrong, but this feeling is for our own, you can say, downfall in the spiritual journey. Because we are just the intermediate person to perform that task. We are not capable of that. You must have heard about Hanuman. Who was Hanuman? Hanuman was the sevak of Lord Ram. If you hear the old Ramayana, Mahabharata, and all other, if you see the scriptures, if there is one sevak about which we all heard the most, then I think Hanuman is the one who is the topmost sevak we all have must heard about. So just give me a minute. Yes. So we all have heard about Hanuman. He was totally involved, indulged, and surrendered in the seva of Lord Ram. Once what happened that Lord Ram asked him to go in the search of Mata Sita. So when he went to Lanka, what he's seeing there? He's seeing there that Ravan came into the Vatika in the garden, and he was so much angry on Mata Sita, and he was going to kill her. Hanuman was about to go to save her, but what he's seeing there? Wife of Ravan, Mandodari, is coming in between and saving the Sita. He is stopping him that don't do it, it doesn't suit you. So what feeling came into the mind of Hanuman? I was in thought, if I will not be here, then who will save her? But it's the Almighty who is performing everything. He has elected the people to perform certain tasks. Even if I am not involved, she is saved by Ravan's wife. Further, what he is seeing, that one of the Sevika of Mata Sita is telling her that I am seeing in my dream that a monkey is coming and he is putting flame in entire Lanka. So Hanumanji is thinking, I didn't came here with a thought that I will, you know, burn the entire Lanka. So what he is seeing, that Ravan is giving Ades himself. Ravan is commanding that, hey, uh, tie the cloth in the tail of this monkey and put fire on that. Then again, Hanumanji is in the feeling. I am thinking that if I will not be here, then who will do this task? Almighty is so much capable that he is even taking seva from Ravan itself, that to burn Lanka, he himself is doing the seva. So what it means, anyone who is in seva, anyone who is in the service, it's not that he's capable for that service and he's getting it. It's the mercy of Master that he chooses you for that service. And through you, he is accepting your service. So With all these stories, what we are trying to understand, the very first line of this couplet, which is Sevya bhava sevak rahe utare bhav nidhi par. So to cross this Maya world, how a sevak, how a sevak needs to be in the Sevya bhav, how we can be in the Sevya bhav. So these are the qualities: Ananya Sharana, complete surrender, devotion, and removal of ego from ourselves. These are the qualities which will bring the Sevya Bhav within us. When there will be complete devotion, complete surrender, then this couplet will execute in our life. This will execute in our spiritual journey. By this, I will conclude my explanation. If there is any mistake in this explanation, it's all my fault in explaining this or understanding this. So I'm sorry to all of you for that. Uh, please come forward with your questions if you have related to this couplet, to this explanation. We will definitely try to uh, explain that, answer that with these words. Over to you, Neetuji. Thank you very much. Jai Sharudev.
Thank you very much, Sudhanshuji, for sharing such a detailed explanation of this Doha in such simple words and with the use of sansmarans and stories from Ramayana and Mahabharata, that you have explained one very important aspect of seva, that if you if a disciple gets to do seva, no matter how small or big they might see it, they should accept it as blessings from the Sadguru, and should not have this thought while performing seva that if they were not to do it, it was not possible. So it's a blessing that when we get seva, we should accept it wholeheartedly and perform it with total surrender to Sadguru. Thank you again, Sudhanshuji, for explaining this Doha. I would like to request if anyone has any questions or would like to share your understanding on this Doha, please come forward.
Just a good Dave. I just wanted to actually point out that the fact that Sri Hanumanji was used as the example kind of hit home for me because at my idea of the perfect devotee is actually Hanumanji. So that whenever that's brought up, it definitely makes point A and point B connect perfectly for me. So I wanted to just point that out and everything. So thank you.
Thank you, Devji, for sharing your thoughts and connecting the seva to what Hanumanji has, what we have learned from Ramayana. Thank you very much. I would again like to ask if anyone has any questions on this Doha, please do share.
Jai Sadgurudeva. Just one thing coming to my mind, though I heard from middle, what Sudhanshuji was telling, but he pointed out, some of the facts that today or tomorrow we normally go through those phases also, like when you start doing the seva, then at some point it really comes to our mind that okay, I'm the only one who is doing the seva, or some kind of ego start coming up. It could be in different forms, but my question here is that how do we get rid of the ego? Coming ego, we understand, we see, we have experienced that, but how do we get rid of that ego? What is the way? So either we can kind of bypass it before it comes, or when it comes, we are able to tackle it, efficiently. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Lalvani ji, for your question. I would like to request Sudhanshu ji if you can take this question.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Neetu ji, and thank you very much, Lalmuni ji, for raising this very important question. That how we can we can came out from the ego, right? So as you mentioned as well, and from past so many weeks, we are discussing about seva and sevibhav. So in Vihangam Yoga, there are three pillars: seva, sadhana, and satsang. And seva is the very important, and we can say the prime pillar. So the sevibhav, what we are talking here, that definitely contains the quality is that is removal of ego from our life. So how this comes, how all the quality of sevibhav comes, that comes with two things. First are more and more involvement in seva. So as we will involved in seva, these qualities will start coming within ourselves, like quality of surrender, quality of devotion. How these will come? When we are involved in seva, slowly our ego, or you can say the barrier, the self barrier which we created for ourselves. How I can do this? How I can ask someone? How I can request someone? Those are the small, we can say, the barriers of ego which we created for ourselves, which are the blockage in our own growth. So as we are involved in the seva, those will start going slowly. But what is the second important thing to removal of ego from our life? That is bhakti and jnana as well. So that will come from the other two important pillars, which is sadhana and satsang. So what is happening in satsang? In satsang, we understand about master, we understand about so many things which we think that we are controlling it. So when we are in complete knowledge, then those ignorant fact will go away as well. And when those ignorant fact will go away, then we will have the realization that there is nothing else except the master. In previous satsang, there was I had mentioned one thing which Swamiji has written in his book Adarsh Shishya. So on that, Swamiji has written that when a Shishya will not, you know, he will not get deviated from the path and he will not go on ego, when he will have two things. There are two elements in Vihangam Yoga. The first one is Acharya ka nirbhrant pehchan. What it means: when you know your master completely without any doubt, when you will know that, you will not have any doubt, you will not have any ego, because you will understand who is your master and what we are in front of him. And second is Siddhant ka Purna Bodh. What it means: when we have the complete sense of uh, the spiritual, uh, you can say, uh, the wisdom. So, in a nutshell, if we try to understand this, how we can remove ego. So, the only thing is more and more seva and complete surrender. These are the only two things which I believe if we try to implement it in our life, then slowly this ego will go away from all of us. And I believe there are so many Guru Bhais and Guru Bahans in this particular session who are true example of how there is no ego in their life because they are so much involved and indulged in seva. So this is what I feel. If I'll request if someone please want to add something, please come forward and add as well.
Thank you very much, Sudhanshuji, for uh, responding to this question. I would like to also add my understanding that sometimes when it's again a blessing that we are able to recognize that the thought that we are getting is coming out of ego, because acknowledgement is the first step, then we can work towards it. So if it's coming purely from I would say a theoretical background, like judging others and saying if I was in this situation I would do like this, then I would say that try to put yourself in a situation where if you were there, how would you have done it? And have you been in a similar situation in your life? Then, when it comes to actually uh, doing it, then you realize that it's not that easy. Or if you're able to recall your experience of when you have been in such a situation, then how did you react? So what I'm saying is, it's very easy to preach and share the knowledge that we keep hearing. But when we have to put it into practice, that's when the real test of the disciple is. And also, once we are able to acknowledge that this is not a good thought, it's not a pure thought, then the least that we can do is keep praying and praying to Lord Sadguru. Thank you. And I would like to ask if other Guru Bhai, Guru Bahans have their views. Please come forward and share.
Jai Sadhudev, I just wanted to put one more point here. And this is something that happened with me. I remember like many years back, I would say, when kind of I joined Vihangam Yoga. During that time, when I was listening to satsang, one of Guru Bhai was sharing, his own experience that, he went to ashram where Swamiji was there, and, that day Swamiji was very happy with that disciple. And so Swamiji just, no, so that disciple actually went to Swamiji, and he wanted to take permission to leave, for his home. So he went to Swamiji and saying that, Swamiji, I have a train, so I would like to, get your blessings before I leave. So on that, Swamiji just said that, are you leaving? So, Ji Swamiji, I have to leave. Are you leaving? Ji Swamiji, I have actually some, construction going on at my home. So I want to leave. Oh, are you leaving? Ji Swamiji. So Swamiji asked same question 3 times, and every time he just told what the situation was, and finally he left also. After he left, then, when he was in the train, or maybe when he reached to his home, then he realized that, oh, this was a blunder I did. Because Swamiji was asking me, he asked me 3 times. That indicated that he wanted me to stay there. He must be, kind of going to bless me with some big thing. But, I just blindly kind of, I just came back home. So when I heard that Sansmaran, during that time, what I thought personally, that I would not be that kind of disciple. If Swamiji says to, kind of gives this kind of hint, I would not go home. That was, my personal thought, that, Swamiji's order is like, okay, we have to obey it, follow it, in every situation. So if that situation comes to me, I would definitely not leave for home. I would stay there. And, I would say that maybe just this happened like maybe five years back. When I went to India Ashram, where Swamiji was there, and truly speaking, I was also in the same situation, almost the same situation. And I also did the same thing what the other disciple did. So I also kind of, left the ashram and came back home. And then I realized that, I also did the same blunder that the other disciple did, even though I had decided that I will not do it. So, in a way, what I'm trying to say is that a lot of the time when we hear the Sansmaran, we decide that, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to fall in that, mistake, and I would wisely or maybe, faithfully or, devotionally, I will do what Sadguru wants. I will not fall in that, trap or, in Maya's trap, basically. But in spite of all that thought, I did that. And not only, just once, when I try to recollect, I feel that as if, I have done that mistake again and again, many times. So kind of, I'm now in a situation that, why this happened, in spite of, me already decided that I would not repeat the same mistake. Why did I, do the same thing? Why I also repeated the same mistake? So I just wanted to, put a thought here. I don't know if if anybody wants to share on this, or so at least, because I'm pretty sure, when we hear all these Sansmaran, many of us think that, okay, the mistake that the other person did, I will not do it. But why do we fall in the same mistake? Why we repeat that? I don't understand that. Is it something that we are in the journey of kind of improving ourselves, and just a thought is not enough, to avoid that mistake? There's something much more needed. I don't know. I'm just putting this my thought out loud here in the session. That's all. Just
Thank you very much, Lalmaniji. And when you were relating this Sansmaran, I was also thinking that, when we are listening to these Sansmarans and we are not actually there in having Swamiji's darshan, then we think this is how we should do. But let's say if Swamiji was saying, "Are you leaving?" then we cannot even ask Swamiji a question on top of that. So, Swamiji, should I not leave? So, I was also thinking that how, if I was there, how I would have responded. Would I just have kept quiet and said, "No, Swamiji, I am here." It's very difficult in front of Swamiji, Sadguru Dev, to even utter a word, because we are always very conscious of whether it will be right or not, whether saying something will be right or just keeping quiet will be right. So I have the same thoughts. I had the same thoughts when you were talking about the Sansmaran.
Neetuji and Lalmaniji, I also want to add a few things here. And I believe it happened with most of us when we go in front of Swamiji. And as Lalmani Bhaiya has said rightly, that whenever we go through all these Sansmaran, we always, take a note within ourselves that I will not do this. Or if we hear some Sansmaran, we take a note that I will also follow the similar kind of uh, response what that particular Sevaji disciple has did, right? So this is what we make the checklist. But when we go in front of Swamiji, uh, we, react differently, right? Uh, so, and later when we came out from there, when Swamiji, we took the Adesh, we came out. And then when we are, connecting the thoughts, then we think that, oh, we should have, I should have react differently. I should have said this, I should have said. So why it happens? And as Lal Bhaiya said, it goes on all of our minds. What I understood little bit in my story, what I feel that when I hear the Sansmaran, I'm taking a note that I will not, do this. That is which I am, deciding at the level of my intellect, uh, that I will not do this. But maybe from within, I am not at that level that I will behave that way. And what I feel that whenever we are in front of Swamiji, it's not our intellect that work, it's not our mind that work, it's what we are in front of Swamiji. That's how it works. Uh, you think something that I will go in front of Swamiji and I will say this, I will ask this, I will ask that. But what happens when we go there? We are blank. Nothing is in our mind, right? So what I understood as of now, that we are not able to react as we noted down by listening these Sansmaran, because maybe I have not reached at that level where I will behave that way. And that happens so many times, and that's what I concluded, that maybe that is on my intellect, that is on my mind, that have not reached till me, that particular thing. And maybe I'm on that journey, and someday when Swamiji mercy will be on me, I will be at that level, maybe I will behave that way. So as it is on my intellect, on my mind, maybe that is why in front of Swamiji, uh, it is not happening, because that is away when we are in front of Swamiji. So that is my experience, and that's what I was sharing. Thank you, Lalvia. Thank you, Nitiji.
Thank you, Sudhanshuji, for such soulful thoughts. And thank you, Lalmaniji, for sharing this Sansmaran. This, I guess everyone who was listening to it must have their own version of how they would feel or how they would be able to respond to such question from Swamiji. So thank you all very much for this beautiful discussion. It was centered around Seva. Today we got a better understanding of what Seva and surrender is. Okay, I think we can move to the next phase. We would like to inform everyone about an initiative Navy has started called Warrior of the Week. We all know the best time to meditate is Brahma Muhurt between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. But most of us fail to do so. To encourage this, Navy started this initiative where participants who have joined the WhatsApp group called Brahma Muhurt Warriors practice Brahma Muhurt on their own. There is no need to join an online session. And when the disciples have completed their meditation, they report the status as done on the group. Warriors of the week of this week are those disciples who have done meditation in Brahma Muhurt every single day of the week. Their names are Surya Alam Raju ji, Tejinder ji, Bhagwati Patel ji, Yogesh Sirsagar ji, Vinita ji, Prachi Shirsagar ji, Lalmani ji, Amit Talekar ji. Congratulations to the warriors and thank you for being a constant source of motivation. Inductees of the week are those disciples who have done meditation for at least one day during the week or who have done it for most days of the week, but they may have missed 1 or 2 days. Inductees of this week are Neha Kumari ji, Rashmi ji, Deepti ji, Ranjani ji, Maya ji, Monica ji, Srirang ji. Congratulations to the inductees and thank you for inspiring us with your sincere efforts. If any one of you is interested to join the WhatsApp group for Brahma Muhurt Warriors, please let us know and we can add you. Looking at the time, let's move to the last phase of today's satsang. The final prayer is Shanti Part. In the Shanti Part, we chant for peace for everyone who exists in this universe. May Sadguru Dev bless the entire cosmos with peace, love, and prosperity. I would request everyone to please take their seats. I request Devji to recite the last few lines of Shanti Part. Over to you, Devji.
Hey Prabhu Shanti Sarup Ho Shanti Shanti Maya Shanti 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 Jana Shanti Ho Purna Shanti Maya Shanti Hey Prabhu Shanti Pradana Kara Duraho Sarva Shanti Deva Sadafala Shanti Maya Shanti Shanti Sukha Shanti Jai Gurudev Bhagwan Ki Jai.
Jai. Thanks a lot, Devji, for the wonderful recitation of Vandana, Aarti, and Shanti Part in such a soulful voice. Our today's session ends here. Today we learned about how can we strengthen our seva. This will come through continuous practice by accepting and volunteering for any seva that we see and by our total surrender to Sadguru. I would like to thank Jessica ji, Sudhanshu ji, Dev ji, Srirang ji, Lalmani ji, and Surya ji for their active seva in today's satsang. I would like to thank each one of you for joining the session and would like to encourage everyone to ponder over the topic we discussed today. I pray to Sadguru to bless you with peace, prosperity, and progress. See you all next Sunday at 10:30 a.m. EST on the same Zoom meeting. Have a wonderful day and week ahead and Jai Sadguru Dev.